can't keep my titles of all the shows I got going in the works. And we are so excited to be doing. I want to make sure everybody's getting on. Hello, everybody. I am live. Just want to make sure it's working. Hold on. Check with Amy. Okay, everybody's coming in. We are live at the Kim Gravel Show, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Welcome. Oh my gosh, everybody's coming in. Hey, Debbie, Courtney, Patricia, Rhonda, Alexa, Mandy. All right, we are live on Facebook, and tonight I have some very, very special guests. I'm gonna set it up and kind of tell you as people are popping on and watching. Those of you who watched Kim of Queens on Lifetime TV back in 2014. I cannot even believe that it has been that long. Seems like yesterday. 2014. On Lifetime. I will never forget it. I was sitting at my mother's house. We were all there ready to watch it. It was right after Dance Moms. We were so nervous, excited, all of the above. What ended up being an amazing journey with some of the most best people to work with. All the girls, their moms. Although it was ups and downs, it was so tough working with Mom and Allison. It was hard work, but I will honestly say that will go down in history as some of the best people and most beloved people that I have in my heart was during that experience. And so I even remember when we were taking this picture outside of the pageant place. It was the start of a new trajectory in my life. And for so many of us girls, so many of the girls and the moms, and we're going to talk to two of them tonight. I've got with me tonight the very first mother and daughter duo that was booked on Kim of Queens. I will never forget it as long as I live. It was LeeAnn Busby and Anslee Busby, and I'm going to welcome them into the show. Hey, y'all. Hey. Hold on, I muted you. I have to unmute you. I've been muting you ever since, haven't I, LeeAnn?
Kim, you've been trying to mute me for how many seasons of my life now? Girl, there ain't
too many.
Me.
Too many of your life. And I should have never tried to mute you. You can't mute you.
Had you not muted me, that was when it all stopped. If you hadn't muted me, we would have been season 5,000 and gazillion. Who knows?
But this is the thing. I had to mute you, and I had to put a megaphone in front of Anslee's mouth to get her to say anything.
Some things never change.
Oh, I always loved Anslee so much. So welcome to the Kim Gravel Show. I'm so glad y'all are here. The comments are coming. Everybody's coming on. Oh, I said, I love my hair. Thank you. I'm seeing all the comments coming up. We are here to take any kind of questions for LeeAnn and Anslee, as they were our very first mother-daughter duo casted on Kim of Queens. Did y'all know that?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I remember when we got the, I guess, first word about it was on social media. We found it on Facebook, and one of Anslee's pageant directors at the time said, "Y'all are a perfect fit." And I was like, is that a compliment or an insult? You know, because if you're perfect for reality TV, is that really perfect?
Oh my gosh.
We auditioned, and
so you saw it on Facebook. So they posted it on Facebook. Okay, so I never know how all this started.
Yeah, we started it and we found it. The local person, she found it on Facebook and she said, "Y'all got to do it."
Okay, so what happened after that happened? So you sent an email, they called you.
We sent an email, and it was to Oliver, and he was who replied.
Oh my gosh! Oliver! I get to give him a shout out. Hey, Oliver! Oh my gosh! And y'all, Oliver, our producer, our executive producer of the show, who sold the show to Lifetime, was like 18, 19 years old. Do you remember that?
Yes, he was a puppy. He was a puppy.
baby. He was a baby.
But he was like, "Do you know Kim?" And we're like, "Kim who?" There's a lot of Kims in
Yeah,
pageants.
right.
He's like,
He was an
"Kim
angel.
Gravel."
Yeah.
He's like, "She's a former Miss Georgia." And we're like, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Yes." I said, "She crowned my friend from high school."
I crowned Stephanie.
Yes.
You were friends with Stephanie?
I graduated high school with Stephanie Michelle. See,
She's
Kim,
one
you
of the
didn't talk
prettiest
to me
people
enough.
inside
I
and
thought
out.
you knew every this.
I didn't even know. Okay, duh. I didn't even know that.
Yes. So he's like, set it up the very next night. Anslee and I were scared to death. And her dad, oh my God, I can't even explain what he was. He was mad.
Was he really?
He's like, "Y'all don't need to do that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." But
We're going to get to that in a minute. I think he was jealous, but keep on going.
so we did the Skype, and at that time you had to Skype your interview because there wasn't the apps like what you're using now. So we Skyped, and Anslee was like she is right now.
Oh, God.
Well, you don't give me a chance to talk. So what do you want me to do? Interrupt?
And he asked
Yeah, we sure darn do. You want to get out there
She
and
don't
try
want
to
me
figure out-
talking. I said, "Y'all
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll get to Anslee in a minute. Go ahead, Lee.
See?
So
I'm waiting.
well, if you want the real scoop, you want it from me because she leaves out all the good stuff.
She does. I swear.
But he was interviewing us and he asked questions about pageantry and how old Anslee was when she did her first pageant. And her godmother put her in her very first ever pageant. And I was like, "Shauna, we ain't doing that. She's 6 months old."
Yeah, but Anslee never lost.
I said, what can a kid do at 6 months? Well, she slept through her first pageant and she got fourth runner up. Well, at that point, Shauna and Anslee's dad was like, "We in it to win it." So that was the rest of it. It never stopped. And Shauna bought her first pageant dress, her godmother did. And from there, it was forever history.
And another friend bought me my second one, signed me up without her knowing. And then we were like, "Hey, we're in a pageant." And it was, I don't remember how old I was.
You were about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And Oliver was like,
Okay.
"This is perfect." He said, "This is what we want. It's the kid who's been in it forever."
Yeah, right. But the thing is about this that everybody might not know, and I want you to speak to that, is that so you had the aspect of competing in pageants, which they were real pageants, and you had to compete.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had the aspect of taping a television show, which was a whole new world to you, me, the whole cast, everything. What was that like? I want to hear it from what was that like from you, Lee, and I want to hear it from you, Anslee. Like, what was going through your mind? Remember when we taped the
Pilot. In all honesty, when we were driving that morning and we had to leave really, really early because, you know, we live up in the boondocks, and I was scared to death. I think that was the quietest Anslee's car ride with me ever because I didn't say a word. The radio wasn't even on. We wasn't acting stupid in the car. We got there and I saw all those fill-ins and I was like,
those are
and
filmed?
then, yeah, and then you were bringing all of us in and you had us, oh my, there was this slogan that was on the wall and you kept like getting right in our faces and saying that. I was truly scared to death. That was 3 days. It was like TV boot camp. And you kept telling us, if y'all girls make this happen and you bring it, this will happen. And a year later, it did with a different network and, of course, different girls. Because the girls that were doing it at that time, none of those girls were selected.
No.
But you know, one, Michaela and Tara.
Michaela and Tara. And do you remember Deb was in there for the pilot?
Yes, she was one of the fill-ins. Yes.
Just to fill in Deb and Hannah. And I thought, oh, they are perfect for this.
Yes.
And I mean, when I talked to you and Anslee, I knew you both, one, were good-hearted people.
Well, thank you.
So, you know, how the show started out was really to encourage and uplift young women and women in general as it pertains to beauty and to being confident in who you are as a young girl, no matter what size you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what color you are. It don't matter how you worship. It doesn't matter. It's all about how God created each of us individually. And that was the beginning. That was the foundation of that show.
Well, they robbed us.
They robbed us, but I think the reason it's still on, Lee, and people are still connecting with it is because that message always seeped through.
Well, because you push that.
I
You
try.
emphasize that. You, no matter what.
Yeah, but that's what y'all wanted too. That's what I'm trying
no
to
matter
say.
what they were trying to escalate,
Yeah.
you always smoothed it back over like you were icing a cake, because that's what you actually said. I'm going to have to ice this up.
Yeah.
Because you had to sweeten it, because they made it rigid. I mean, they had. Well, I was the oldest mom. I don't know if you realize that too.
Well, you didn't look it.
Well, y'all wouldn't let me color my hair there for a while, and now I'm still flashing the gray.
I say color, baby, color.
Oh God.
Oh my God! Somebody said somebody said Anslee needs a turn here. Anslee, you tell us your experience. Thank you, Matt. I love you for commenting on that. I'm telling you, Anslee is a doll and has a great point of view. I'm sorry, Anslee. Tell us about your experience when you were auditioning for the show.
Well, my experience when I first auditioned, I was kind of mixed emotions. I was excited. Didn't really know what God had planned for me. I knew that He had big things in store, but I didn't know what He had in store. The show brought many opportunities. I met, many a great can't talk like you, Kim. I met many.
Just talk like you, baby. Just talk like you.
I know. I met many, amazing people, and then I went many places. We went all over Georgia, that kind of thing. But I will say that there was some parts of the show that brought me down. But to this day, I wouldn't talk at a restaurant. And then when I got into pageants, and I wouldn't talk to anybody. When I got into pageants and I started opening up, I gained more self-esteem, more confidence. And the show actually brought more confidence to me. You made me sing. I didn't want to. But that was, don't make me sing now, please. But
I'm very tempted.
No, please.
No. But the show, like I said, it made me be a stronger, better person. I met a lot of obstacles in my life with my mom and dad getting divorced.
Yeah.
Bullied in school. But then the show, like I said, it taught me to be strong and not let anything bring me down. Because like you said, I was used to always winning pageants. I was always used to being number one.
Yeah.
I would never had really competition because I always won. And then when I got on the show, I met my competition, and it brought me down. But you brought me right back up.
Let me ask you something, Anslee. What people don't know was some of the behind the scenes that were going on in everyone's personal life. And for you and Lee, you guys were going through the toughest thing of your entire life. I wanted to show it on camera and really show the realness of what was happening in everyone's life, including my mom, including my sister, including me, including all the other girls and moms. And unfortunately, they would not let us show that.
No.
What people do not know, Anslee and Lee, is that you guys, Lee, you were going through a divorce, and Anslee was having to cope with balancing that as a team on TV, competing in pageants. What was that like, Anslee?
Well, when you have your dad home for 16, 17 years, and then he just up and goes, you're used to having him at your pageants, you're used to having him at your school events, whatever, and then you get on TV, it's a big deal. I mean, not many people at 22 years old can say that they were once on TV, they were once on a pageant show, they once did pageants, so on and so forth. And I can't say that, oh, well, me and my mom were on a pageant show, but my dad was hardly ever there. He wanted no part in it. He didn't give me any support. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, he did not want to have any part of it. And the one or two times that you saw him, we had to drag him in by his feet.
But y'all were close. Y'all were close, though. You and your dad are still close, aren't you?
We've had our battles where he's treated me like crap, but we're getting better. As I got older, I told him how I really felt. And, I told him, I said, if you even care about me, I said, then you'll text me. You'll ask about me. And there was a time where I went months without hearing from him, and I said, okay, a phone works both ways. If he wants to call me, he can, and I can call him.
Well, girl, who is Anslee? This is the Anslee I always knew that was in you. Listen, brother. Okay, so do you still do? I've got several questions for you, Anslee.
Okay.
How are you happy with how you are portrayed on the show? That's a good one. Oh, come on.
No, I was always crying.
We all were crying. We're a bunch of
always
estrogen-driven women.
I don't even know what, crybaby on the show or something. I don't know.
You were not. Was that crying?
I cried sang. I cried when I lost.
Okay, I got to say something to you.
I
I'm gonna
should have
interrupt
cried
you.
when I sang the national anthems, but I didn't.
When you cried and we had that moment and you cried and I said, I think I said I learned more from losing than I ever did winning. That was the realest scene of the whole entire season of Kim of Queens that season. That was that
I
scene.
have to agree with you. I strongly do, because we said in that episode, that was the episode where was it Alexis that won that pageant? Yeah.
Yes.
We all said after we taped that and we met back at the studio the next week and we were at Pageant Place, you made the comment, we need to do every week like that week, and this is a hit show, because we were all real. Anslee was the first one that opened up and really expressed true emotion.
But a lot of people don't see real emotion on TV. It's all scripted, it's all lined, and that was real.
That was so real. What were you thinking at that moment in that scene? You know, as a performer, I mean, you're a person, you've been on stage your whole entire life. What did you think when I said you had to sing? Like, because you didn't show any kind of like, you know, pump the brakes when I said it but it was like when we got there, I was like, what do you mean? We're here at the pageant.
Remember, I had to come get you. You were doing Alexis's hair.
Yeah, I remember.
And I came and got you, and I said, Kim, and I need you right now.
Yeah.
And that was real. They were chasing me with the cameras. I remember looking behind me, and I'm like, back off. I'm going to get Kim. And they said, no, we want this on air. And I'm like, oh my God, now all of a sudden we want to be real.
But Anslee, what were you feeling then? Because, I mean, your mom was hysterical. I was like, what's going on? You're getting ready to perform.
I wasn't really, Mom said I was mad, but I wasn't really mad. I was more, I guess you could say, intimidated by the haters because I was bullied so bad. And it was, I know I don't have the best voice. Obviously, I know that. I'm not going to lie and say I can sing great. I'm not going to say that because I can't.
Well, you can carry a tune. I'm sorry. I've heard you do it. So whatever.
It's fine.
Anyway.
Thanks,
Karen. It's not bad. It's LeeAnn, you are great. Have you seen what's going on out there in talent, girl? Check it.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so
I have mixed emotions, but
I would not have put her on there if she sounded like, you know, she couldn't carry a tune in the bucket. I mean, you could carry pitch and you could get through a song. I've heard you do it. That's why I said go ahead, Anslee. You tell us how you feel. Forget it.
I forgot what I was saying now because you interrupted me.
Oh, but you said
you weren't mad.
Okay, I was like intimidated. You know, I was being bullied at school, harassed on the internet, getting social media messages, you know, telling me I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be doing pageants, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, you had me sing, and it was, at the time, I didn't realize it was for the better. It was to boost my confidence. It was to show me that I can, to push past my fear. Never say can't, you always can. But at that moment in time, I didn't realize that.
Well,
I was being, like I said, with the whole emotions with my mom and dad, and then the whole.
See, that's what no one knew.
That's what stopped me. Is I just had all of this emotion built up inside of me, and then when you told me to sing, it just blew up in flames. And the first thing that came to my mind was, I'm bullied now. I'm really going to be bullied.
Well, and I think too, Anslee, and we can talk about bullying in a little bit, but I think someone asked a question, and I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I want you to really answer it. Was there anything that the producers, the show, whomever, even me, asked you to do that you didn't want to do, other than that singing? I mean, did we ask you to be fake? That's what I'm asking.
No, y'all kind of gave it a plot, and we didn't know as the mom and daughter duos. No, not you. It's the production.
Yeah.
And we didn't know. We could see how it was taping from Tuesday till Saturday or Sunday through the pageant.
But when you were recording, you didn't get that vibe. You got that vibe when you sat down and you had flashbacks and you were watching it.
You were trying to analyze it.
And then you kind of noticed that the one person that they were focusing on was like the whole just main part of that episode. It's like each episode had focus on different people. And then one person would say one thing to make the other person mad, like you're in Angie's fight.
God,
and
help me, Jesus.
Yeah. Whatever.
Well, that leads me to another question. Do you keep in touch with any of the girls? Who was your best friend while you were filming?
She's still my best friend now. It's Melinda and Aaron.
Yeah.
That's my babies. But Angie, don't talk to her. Don't follow her on any platform of social media. Mara, Raven, and Anslee, all three competed at Miss Georgia in 2015 in Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen Program.
Yep.
Voila!
Yep. I will never forget it. I was so proud of every single one of these girls because that's a huge accomplishment.
It was a huge accomplishment, especially for this chick. And this is when I'm really going to talk because she's bashful about it. This kid was diagnosed with a type 1 diabetes.
Well, I was getting there.
On June 8th. On June the 11th, we had to report to Miss Georgia. And our executive director for our franchise that two of the girls were on, which was Anslee and Raven, belonged to the same franchise. Our executive director said, "You don't have to go." What? I said, "I think this is huge if Anslee goes because you're saying diabetes is stopping her. Diabetes don't have to stop you. It pushes you. You want to push through it."
You had type 1, correct? So that is the genetic kind. And you were diagnosed at what age, Anslee, with that?
I was 17. I was just a few months shy of being 18. And then I got it right before I was graduating high school. And that's another thing I got bullied about was the show and then being, in quotations, not healthy. Because people would tell me that I had blood disorder, this, that, and the other. And they were taking pictures of me on social media and saying that they were getting sick just by looking at me. So, yeah, it was really rough. But there's just another obstacle that made me stronger.
Would y'all do it again?
Kim of Queens?
Yeah.
Okay, one is she don't have to sing. And two, if I don't have to fight with, I'll call her Angie. Please don't have to fight with
like fun, like, because Angie's super talented and super, Angie's a real good pageant coach and a good teacher.
Oh, she is. She did great. The episode, I forget which one it was, maybe 12. I can't remember. It's been a minute. Where Anslee and Mara was on the same team. We ain't talking about that. But no, Angie did her hair and her makeup. She looked beautiful. They both wore red dresses. They were stunning. But I don't know. It was always tough. I got along with all the other moms. I just never got along with Angie. But I still talk to Melinda. I talk to Melinda all the time. I still talk to, I call her my life size Barbie. I still talk to Deb.
Honey, they Barbie's times too.
Yeah. And little Hannah Banana. I love little Tiny Mighty. When I was going through a very trying time in my life, Hannah was my prayer partner. And she prayed me through some storms because she was a prayer warrior.
There's a lot of prayers going down. That was one thing we could say about the whole cast. We were all people of faith.
And two, I remember in the bathing suit pageant where Anslee was freaking out to come out in swimsuit. She's like, "Are you kidding me? I got no chest and you want me to put on a bikini?"
I could take the boobs up, honey. I could take the boobs up.
Still wouldn't do a bikini pageant.
But you stood outside the dressing room before the girls went on. The cameras weren't back there. They were all in the theater where we were filming. And you stood with Anslee and Alexis, and I believe Lauren, and I believe Mama Jo was there, and you prayed with those girls. If they had showed the back scenes that were the real stuff, and they had showed you praying over these girls and truly mentoring these girls and showing what you were building with their character and helping us as moms be a better influence and a mentor for our daughters, not as a friend, but as an encourager. Because I'm a woman today, but she's the woman in the next phase of life. So what I teach her still when she's 22, I'm building her. And you help push that to us moms. You're building young girls' lives. And you've always been a person that makes an impact.
Well,
and I think if they had done that, I think that was the one part I didn't like about the show is they took away the realness that you wanted. You and Al and Joe wanted that. And they robbed that sincerity that was supposed to have been there. They wanted to see the spitefulness and the greed and
there's enough of that going.
All that.
We had to work on that, honey. We're all human. Look,
Well, I get that, but they made pageantry almost look like backstage. These girls weren't supportive. But I loved how when the girls were winning and they were showing crowning and an episode, it showed the girls over to the side in the scene and your excitement and your yes and the girls. That's how it really was.
it was.
Is these our girls really conveyed for each other? And I remember when Anslee won that only pageant that she won on the whole show when she did sing.
It's because my voice is just amazing.
That's got to be it. But
Well, I think there was
you
growth.
pushed this.
Yeah, there was growth. But I will say every mom there was wonderful. Everybody says, how was it? The moms were tough, but not mean. Because I think
No.
all of us moms out there, we're going to fight to the death for our children, right? I mean, like,
I still do.
of course, I do. I do with my kids. And when especially when you're in a fishbowl of this beauty and all of this, for us, for Mom and Allison and I, we wanted to really have this sisterhood that I wish we could have done more of.
Yes.
Because when it's all said and done, we all did that together. We're all united and family together,
Yeah.
regardless. And I think that's what people, again, they go back and go back and go back and watch it because those little nuggets are there of that friendship, of that love, of what pageantry really can do. All right, so I have some more people. Why were y'all on season 2?
Life, divorce, too much craziness, too much drama. At some point, you had to check out. I had enough drama for my own reality TV.
You had a
show.
lot going on behind the scenes.
I did, unfortunately. And I had to focus on me beginning to fix what I had become because of divorce. So I had to have it where I could be civil because I had a connection still with her dad. That's Anslee's dad. No matter if we like each other or not, that's still her dad. So I need to be able to be civil with him. Now that she's older, I don't have to communicate with him. She does.
Right.
So I think, and to the answer of that, we had to think about us at that point.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I was not, when we had that conversation, you're like, I'm not coming back. I was very disappointed. I remember crying when you hung. I'm going to cry right now thinking about it. When you hung up.
Don't make me cry. You're good at that.
I love Anslee.
That was the hardest phone call I've ever made.
I absolutely love Anslee. I always have loved Anslee. I've always, like, Anslee is that kid. If I had a daughter, she would be it, you know. I mean, the other girls too, but it was just that first girl for me that I just, with her cheeks and her smile and her radiant and her innocence and her love.
You're making me cry.
Her love for God, her love for God, and her. I mean, it just, there was a little bit of naive thing that Anslee had that was so refreshing. And I knew, oh, this is going to suck because she's going to have to go through so much crap on this show. But I knew if you could get through it, girl, I knew you would come out stronger, bigger, better, badder, all of that. And you have. You have. Okay, so let me ask you this. A couple of fun things. I want to show you this. I'm going to show in this stream the faces of your mom.
Oh my God.
You just hush. Anslee, why did your mom look like she was in a nudist colony every time she did an interview?
You know, I don't know.
This is the real Lee right here. I don't know how you dealt with it, girl.
Try living with it. Is all I can say. Try.
I love it.
If you really want to see the real thing,
Yeah.
I should upload to Facebook the video I have the other day of her trying to take selfies in the car.
And there's a sport. There's Lee's first sport when she laughs. Upload it, Anslee, and I'll share it to the world.
I posted on my Snapchat, and she looked at me. She goes, "You are kidding me."
Let me ask you something. We'll take this down before Lee comes and finds.
But I don't know why she looked like she was in a nudist colony.
She washed everything. Who is letting her wear the strapless thing?
Can't.
Okay. Okay.
Production. Okay.
Okay. I want to close with this because did this make did the show King of Queens and all that was going on behind the scenes and everything make you closer? as a mother and daughter?
I mean, we've always been close,
Yeah.
but the show brought a lot of hate, I guess, because we would always fight and always bicker and always argue and always.
Anslee, was anything good? I mean, come on now.
No, there was some things good. Yeah.
Y'all fought before, girl. Okay.
Well, she's my mother. She's not supposed to be my best friend. But
Yeah, but y'all are two separate type of personalities. That's what people like. Anslee, you're very, calm and cool and even. And Lee is like buck wild, hanging, swinging from the chandelier. I mean, so you two are opposite in
like
the
I
way.
said, tried living with her.
Which makes you a beautiful mother-daughter pair. Okay, one last question before we go. What are your future plans, Anslee? That everybody's asking that. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah,
You're 22 now? You're 22?
Yes. I'm 22. I'll be 23 in October. Currently, I'm an assistant manager for a tax and loan company. I just got started in that, but for the past year, I was a CNA working with senior citizens at senior living facilities.
Oh, that's so you.
So
That's
I
her heart.
actually had a really bad experience the last time I was with the company. They got bought out, and the company that bought them out just botched it. And so I was
And
like,
you're all about the health care of the.
yeah.
I know.
Maybe
Say that. Tell the
I step and walk away, and I actually got the job opportunity that I have now from going in to try to build my credit, and they remembered me for my personality. And they fired a guy, and they called me and said, we think, we have a position for you. Will you come in? And so I did. And he hired me one day, and I asked him, I was like, why me? I didn't put in an application. I've been in here one time. And so I was like, why? And he told me, he said, I remember you the second you walked out that door. He said, I told all of the ladies in here, he said, remember that girl, remember her name because she's a future employee. He hired me.
Why do you think he remembered you? Just saying.
Well, I don't really know.
Sounds like Me, Kim McQueen's did a little something for your confidence, girl.
I mean, it's funny because he'll even tell you he remembers the outfit I was wearing when I came in, the boots I had on, the shirt I had. I mean, he remembered the whole 9 yards.
Mm.
And like I said, I've only been there a month, but God's got plans, and that one just fell right in my lap. So I didn't think a year ago I'd be an assistant manager and never have any experience of being an assistant manager, but here I am.
I always knew you had great things in store, girl. Great things. Okay, well, guys, this has been great. The chat is blowing up. Matt said to upload that selfie video of your mom, Anslee.
Got it. There's 3 of them, but I'll post the best one.
Oh, someone said they thought you wanted to be a chef. Oh my God, remember the chef?
Well, I did want to be a chef until I got diagnosed type 1 diabetic, and it kind of took a troll on everything because when you're cooking sweets or whatever, you can't really taste the foods that you're cooking. So that diabetes once again.
You know what I see in your future? I see a diabetic food plan happening. Oh, that's a good idea. I would like if this was Kim of Queens, I would make you do that. Oh my gosh! Someone said, "Could you please start your own agency for the elderly?" Oh, that would be a great thing.
Oh, I have I don't know if you remember this from the show either, but I have a connection with elderly people and special needs.
Yeah, you have a heart. You have a heart of gold, and I truly believe that did show through on screen. I think that's why people loved you so much. I know you were bullied. I know you got, because that's just the pageant world sometimes, but people who watch the show over and over, Ans, can relate to you and connect with you. And you too, Lee. You too. I mean, there's people sitting here saying, Anslee, oh my God. I mean, everybody, say, please say hi to my, I mean, everything. I mean, everybody's saying, because you were the first.
We were the first. And I have to say, I tried to be the most real.
You were real.
I tried to be real. I tried to be
very real.
I answered that question earlier, or I asked that question, and Mom answered it, and once again wouldn't let me talk.
Which question?
About would you ever do the show again?
Yeah.
I would do it if it was real, if it showed us, if it was more on our lives and not so scripted. And I understand it was a pageant show, but if it would have showed the outside life of how you prepare for a pageant or whatever, instead of just being 100% focused on pageants, I think I would do it again if it was more, like I said, real.
I agree. Okay. I love you guys.
And we love you.
Oh, I could cry.
I know.
Don't cry.
You're grown, Anslee. You're a grown woman. So good to see. I'm glad you're healthy and happy, and I'm glad
My baby.
she was always that girl, right? Always that good girl. All right. I love you both to pieces.
We love you.
Love you.
Okay, so after the show, when y'all leave, I'm gonna give everybody some information and tell them where they can follow you and find you and connect with you guys in the sisterhood that was Kim of Queens. I love y'all.
We love you, Kim.
Love you.
All right, keep in touch.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Brings back so many memories of how Kim of Queens came about. They were the first two booked. They were the first two casted in the Kim of Queens show, and I love them with all my heart. A couple of things before I sign off for the Kim Gravel show this Thursday. One is we have a new group for all people, but women especially, called Believe in Your Own Beauty. You can go to my Facebook page, Kim Gravel, and find the Believe in Your Own Beauty group page. It is an exclusive invite-only page, but we want you to come on and be a part and join in the conversation about everything from fashion, from beauty, advice, relationships, confidence building, anything that you talk about with your girlfriends, you can talk on Believe in Your Own Beauty group page. So I want you to go to Facebook and check that out and join. And also, I have got an announcement, which is right here. We have 3 lucky winners: Sandy Smith, Mandy Gino, and Riley McCamey was the 3 winners for the Makeup with Kim challenge. And we're going to do it right here on Facebook Live on the Kim Gravel show next Thursday at 7 o'clock. You say, how are we going to do that? I'm going to be here. The 3 girls are going to be here, and we're all going to do our makeup together. So Sandy, Mandy, and Riley, congratulations. And everybody check back next Thursday for Kim Gravel show, where we're going to be doing all of their makeups live from scratch. Me too, right here on the Kim Gravel show. And I also just want to say a big thanks to Anslee and her mom for coming on. Follow them on all their social media on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll tag it after the show. Anybody have any questions before we go? Okay, someone's saying we're going to try to do interviews with all the girls from Kim of Queens, and we can work it out. I love this. I love this. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, someone says, congrats, Sandy, Mandy, and Riley. I think that was Christy. Hey, Christy. Who's next? The issue of Kim of Queens teen contest. I don't know. Keep watching. Oh, I love it. But thank you so much for being a part and watching. I know the times right now we're in are so weird. It's like, I enjoy being home, but I miss traveling and I miss working. And I know a lot of us are experiencing some financial hardships, but I just feel like God is saying to us, it's time to pause. So many of y'all watching right now, I want you to hear me. Your next steps, when we come out of this, the next steps, the second half of 2020 is going to be so amazing. You're going to see so much birth of creativity. Businesses, books, jobs, health, everything great comes from the struggle. That's what I was trying to teach Anslee when she was singing in that episode of Kim of Queens, that I know you don't want to sing or feel comfortable singing. I know this is stressing you out. I know, Anslee, you're feeling the squeeze. But if you can do this and conquer this, what's on the other side of that is greatness. So everybody watching me tonight, listen to me clearly. This is no mistake. This is not a big oops in the world. This is not a punishment from God. This is an opportunity to pause, level set, so that we can catapult to the next level. And I mean that collectively, as a nation, as a world, but I'm talking specifically to you watching me right now. You got to believe that God has something so supernatural for your life. Everyone watching me right now, hear me clearly. There is such greatness in you. I know this in my knower, in the deepest part of my soul and who I am. Long time ago, when I was a little girl, I was like 7 or 8, I prayed, I said, God, let me see people the way that you see them. And he did. And he answered that prayer. And so every person I see, regardless of what they've done, what they've been through, their past, I always can see that bright future. And that's because I prayed for the Lord to give me the eyes to see people as he sees them. So if you're watching tonight and you feel hopeless, lonely, defeated, broke, scared, don't be. We're going to come through this. This too shall pass. And when we get on the other side, more importantly, when you get on the other side, you are going to see your life explode with success, power, and focus like never before. If you take the time to be still and know he is God and he has a plan for you. I love you so much. I don't even know who's watching right now, but I love you so much. And I want you to be encouraged. Don't be down. Don't be defeated. But know when you come out on the other side of this, you're going to be more confident and ready to step into that purpose that you have. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Till next time, remember, believe in your own beauty. Good night.